Now, Bernie Sanders is facing a very tough fight in South Carolina, especially when it comes to courting the black vote. According to a recent poll in South Carolina, released yesterday, Hillary Clinton has about 69% of likely voters in South Carolina's Democratic primary. Now, that's a bit of an issue, and that's from a new Monmouth University poll. However, Bernie Sanders just got a really good endorsement by several political leaders and activists from the black community. Now, this comes from the Columbia Conference Center. Terry Alexander hailed Sanders' participation in the civil rights movement and said that the candidate had fought for the African American community throughout his political career. Basically, these guys have thrown their support behind Senator Sanders. Now, Alexander said, quote, "I'm here because it is clear to me that Senator Sanders is the strongest candidate here for African Americans, and he will bring about change not only in the African American community, but he will bring about change in this country, that the least of these will have the same opportunity as those 1% at the top." Nice. Joining Alexander behind the podium were 16 other members of Sanders' new South Carolina leadership team. Now, that team consists of 28 people, according to his campaign, including 3 state legislatures, 5 South Carolina Democratic Party officials, a mayor, a police chief, and several student activists. Now, there's some questions of how well this will actually translate into support in South Carolina. Now, that's going to be a difficult fight for Bernie Sanders. But the good thing is, the advantage that Sanders has is a little name recognition. Now, Hillary Clinton, everybody already knows who Hillary Clinton is. But when it comes to Bernie Sanders, well, a lot of them don't know who he is. And according to Winthrop Professor Scott Huffman, who said, look, Bernie's doing a good job introducing himself to the African American voters, but he still has a long way to go. This is true. And Sanders is looking forward to it. And he says, quote, "I believe I have an excellent chance to do well in South Carolina. I think we've got a ways to go. I think we start as an underdog. But with a team like this, with the issues that we're talking about, I think we're going to resonate with people throughout this state. And I think we're going to surprise a lot of folks on Election Day." So here's Sanders trying to introduce himself to South Carolina, and I think this might actually go a long way to helping him. And we've seen it in different states. The more people learn about Bernie Sanders, the more they like him, because they realize that Bernie Sanders is one of the few people out there that actually represent them, that actually represents everyone.